Welcome to Duber's Discussion. I'm your host, Duber, and we also want to make a note that our interviews also are on B94's 814 Sports Beat, heard Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Today it is my honor to talk with Nick Hoffman, the game manager, chairman of the Frank Varischetti Football All-Star Game being played on Friday. Without further ado, let's roll it. Joining me in Studio B via telephone is Nick Hoffman, the game chairman for the 11th Frank Varischetti All-Star Football Game being played Friday, June 26th at Varischetti Field in Brockway. Nick, I got to let you know ahead of time, I got a cat wandering around Studio B, and we might hear some construction work in Studio C, but my gosh, buddy, it's always good to hear from you. How are you, Nick?
I'm doing well, Bob. It's good to hear your voice.
Yes, okay. So, Nick, this is year 11, and I was looking back at some of the interviews we did, and I want to take you back to 2014, and I think it was your first day at work at Varischetti Holding, and you and Peter were riding by the stadium, and the concept of an all-star game came up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that kind of spurned the idea, and here we are 11 years later. Take me back to that time, Nick.
Well, that was my first day at the job. Pete and I had, gone to lunch, and then we rode around talking about some things, some plans he had, and we rode by the field, and he mentioned, an all-star game. Nothing definite, just wonder if we could. Mm-hmm. And that started an 18-month process of, contacting, people, coaches, athletic directors, other, groups to see, if they'd buy in, to the interest. Mm-hmm. And there was great support, and we started putting the plan together. Went and talked to Dave and Mike Lezer, who've been doing the Lezer Lumber Classic for years. Mm-hmm. Got some guidance from them, and then we started crafting our own plan, and got the first one off the ground in 2016, and it's been just a steady ascent since then. More and more buy-in and involvement and support and interest, and it's really been gratifying. It really has. It just speaks so well of the community, the businesses, the fans, the parents, the players, everybody.
Yeah,
and it takes all of them.
Yeah, the beauty of it, too, is just how you've seen, sponsorship grow and the scholarships grow, Nick. And those scholarships, I'll tell you, having the opportunity to have taken pictures for you in the past and being down on the field when those sponsors are out there with the kids, that's just a beautiful moment. That can be a life-changing. It may not seem to a lot of people, but man, that's like first success for a kid to get that, and it can be life-changing, and it's a beautiful moment. I hate to be corny, but
it's not corny, and the nice thing is we started the first year we had 8 game sponsors.
Yeah.
I couldn't list them for you. I'd have to go back and check. This year we've got 24. Mm-hmm. And it's not just it's local, it's regional too. You've got local firms with international and international concerns. You've got some Pittsburgh area businesses. It's kind of on their books and everything. It may be an expense, but they're making investments.
Yes,
like you point, they're investing in not just the kids, but potentially the future of the area. We've had that. All rural areas have had that brain drain. It's hard to keep the kids and everything.
Sure.
You invest in it and you hope for the best, but you're still, no matter what, the kids get a chance to get an education, to hone their skills, to, go out into the world and pursue a career and be a part of that. In the overall scheme of things, someday you might look back and say, well, it was a privilege to be able to give them a helping hand and let them know that we support them.
Yeah, and it's so cool, again, seeing, families of those sponsors, just people down on the field, Nick. It really does just add to the excitement of the whole event.
It does. It's, It's not always easy getting everybody together in the right place at the right time. And,
Right.
we do our best, but it always works so well. And when I look back, at the pictures, like in this year's program, there'll be 23 photos, and you look at those kids, you look at the presenters,
Right.
and some of the photos you can see the crowd in the background, big smiles on their face and everything. It is special, and it's the nice thing is it's District 9. It's all our kids are being showcased.
Yes.
It's a real pleasure and a privilege to be able to do something like that, for the entire district. And not that our game, I mean, these kids are already graduated, but you look how District 9 football has fared the last several years,
Yes.
Through the playoffs and into the state competition. We got kids that can play football.
Right.
We got coaches who can coach it.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking back to how hard was it that first year to gather everybody together compared to maybe today with even just the way technology has evolved a little bit, Nick.
Well, I'll tell you, I remember, that first year, we mailed, U.S. mail, the forms that the kids fill out to them.
Yeah.
And they mailed them back. Now it's a dedicated email. They can fill the form out, submit it. It's amazing just how far we've come in, this the 11th year.
Yeah, right.
But that's technology. We're on
Yep.
the technology train, so, ride it until it goes off the rails.
Yeah, as long as we don't have just an AI game in the future. But yeah, it really is amazing when you think. Nick, as far as the kids themselves, I used to enjoy the Sundays when I would come down and take pictures of the kids and you guys would give out the jerseys. Now we're doing this interview on Friday the 19th, the week before game time. But that Sunday is kind of cool. It's kind of like the first day everybody gets together and you get to get those jerseys out. And Pete does a wonderful job explaining to the players what that jersey means. I mean, they're representing just so much, and it's got to mean a lot. But even for you guys, when you hand out those jerseys, it's got to mean something. That it's just got to be so rewarding, Nick.
Well, it is. And I mean, that kicks off the week, gets the ball rolling, and I think maybe for the first time it becomes more real for the kids. Here's my jersey. This is the start of, and the week goes very fast. They practice, and it seems like it's over before it starts.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. On that first day, we get together after they practice for a couple hours and have pizza and wings for them. And these kids have played against each other through their high school careers.
Yes.
Carn City and Clarion, or Central Clarion, for example. All of a sudden, they're on the same team. And it's really neat to see these kids. I've seen some of them that didn't realize they were going to the same college, and make arrangements to, stay in touch.
Yes.
New friendships are made. It's like, they're taking the next step. They're no longer boys, even big boys. They are now men, adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's I guess in a corny way, to borrow your phrase, it's like a graduation.
Yes.
They're moving up and moving on. And that's, it's gratifying. It's a special time in their lives. And I hope this is a small part of, what they'll remember.
Yeah, it's it is cool kind of how you say that, because it is. It's like really taking that step into adulthood, and it does when you see kids that knock the heck out of one another playing with each other. There's some chuckling about some hits maybe from days gone by, but it really is cool. The game itself, this is kind of cool. We started as the KSAC and the AML, and now we're north-south, and going into game 11, we're tied at 5, and I found this interesting. The North AML, they've outscored the South 209 to 206. Now, it's been kind of weird because the North won the first, I think, 3 and 4 out of the first 5, and it's been the opposite the last 3 years. Kind of an even Steven. This is going to be kind of a cool game because it is going to put somebody ahead, and it just adds a little to this year's game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And like I said, the fact that it's that close and competitive, the kids, and these are the All-Stars. I mean, they put on a show, and we've had some really, really talented players, through the years that, made their mark while they were in school, and we, still talk about them and remember them, and it's quite a show, and it's just fun. Finally, when the last scholarship's given out, we walk off the field. At that point, I hope usually by that point, I can stand under the goalpost in the East End zone and just take a deep breath and say, okay, let's play ball. Let me,
Yeah.
And I have to go back and watch the tape of the game because, frankly, even standing there, I'm watching it, but I'm seeing it, but I'm not watching it. It's just, you're looking around, okay, is there anything I can do? Is there, something I missed? What do I have to do next to get ready for whatever the next step is that night?
Sure, sure. And that's again, I've watched you in action. You keep yourself under cool, buddy, and that's kind of important. It's kind of like a player in the game, but you do keep it together. And I know there's things going on, Nick, and I've always respected you for that. Hey, this year we have Ryan Neiman from Cameron County and Dave Eggleton of Central Clarion as the coaches. How do you guys go about picking coaches, Nick?
We try to involve everybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't have spaced out. We just try to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity. And I think if you look down through the years, just about everybody's had an opportunity to be part of it if they can.
Yeah.
So it's just another point of it being a total District 9 team effort. I mean, we want everybody involved as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And again, too, I just love the fact, too, that the game showcases Frank Varischetti Field. I mean, what a beautiful facility. I know people they come from far and wide, and people the first time that are in that field are like, holy cow, what a gem here in the middle of Brockway. Got to make you feel good with just the way even, not only the game, but the stadium, the facilities, and really kind of the renaissance of Brockway coming along. You guys have done one heck of a fine job down there, and with the hometown festival coming on, and you have music during the weekends. Dang, that must make you feel proud that this really is a community event that showcases the community, Nick.
Well, it does, and just to put a point on, not just a football field, but I'm staying in a house right along 7th Avenue where the field's located, not far from where the new basketball court is.
Right.
And every night, I've been here since the end of May.
Mm-hmm.
Every night there are kids on that court under the lights playing ball.
Yeah.
Or they're over on the hockey court playing roller hockey.
Yeah.
They're using it. They're they have an opportunity and they're making the most of it. And there's just no way to put in words what that means.
Yeah. If you build it, they will come. And it's like, every year I would go down. It's like, now what are they doing over here? And it was just been really, again, I like to call it almost a renaissance of Brockway. It really is something for the whole area to be proud of. And again, that's got to make you feel good, buddy.
Well, and that's one of the things, too, when we started the planning for the game, you'd look at a map of the 12 counties, I believe it is, and the 20 school districts that are involved in this, and Brockway is pretty much smack dab in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's just, the perfect place to hold a game. Not only because of the quality of the facilities, but because of the location. There's lots of room for everybody, and it's just the epicenter of the district, and that's that makes it special too.
Yeah, as far as football itself, obviously some great athletes out there. Given it, maybe some will play one more game, the big 30 game up here in the north, but this is it for these kids. Some are going on to play some college ball, but man, just getting that chance to put that uniform on, perhaps for one last time. How cool is that for these kids? And you've seen their faces from, again, getting that jersey to game night. And, hey, they get a chance to show themselves one more time. And, again, just a beautiful moment, buddy.
Well, the other neat thing about it, too, is, and we've been doing this long enough now, and there's no way to, I suppose you could track it to an extent, but I look at all the young kids who come to the game who may not have even started playing football yet, or maybe they have a brother or two that play.
Yeah.
And somewhere in some of them, the dream is born. Boy, I'd love to play in this game someday. That's and it becomes there are a lot of
yes.
The number of brothers who have played in this game, it's incredible.
Yes, it is.
Dozens.
Yes.
And you think about every little kid. It's so important when you're a young student to have a dream, an aspiration, or something to kind of motivate you and get you kick started. And if that's one of the roles this game plays, even for a handful of kids, then that makes it special too. Yep,
that little kid playing catch along the sideline. I mean, he's going to be out there someday. And again, that's just one of those cool things. Hey, I do want to tell you guys have done this year. I've really noticed with the Frank Varischetti Foundation page, you guys have done one heck of a job with social media, Nick. I cannot say enough about the individual player posters you have on the page, and we encourage people, and we're going to be showing those. But, man, you've kind of stepped it up a notch. What's going on there?
and I'll give all the credit in the world to Megan Ryder and Corey Godalis. They have embraced the technology that's available, and they're very good at it. If it was up to me, I couldn't do it. I just do not. I'm back in the caboose when it comes to the technology. Right? And it's nice to see younger people come up, embrace it and put their best foot forward, and it means a lot to them too. And I agree, those posters are sharp. They stand out. They are really well done, professional. You can't say enough about the work they put in, along with the Gridiron Association, the school. I mean, there are just so many people that pitch in and make this possible. It's really special.
Yeah, and it's very cool the way you said that too, because that this gives people an opportunity to kind of show what they can do and do that. I mean, as far as even having a clean stadium and just the people that got to work and do those things, man, it really does. In an event like this, it can showcase so much, and that's why I love being around it. And again, I think my first one was in 2019, and the last couple of years have been a little rough, but hey, I'm going to be back this year. I think I'm going to be in the booth as long as the health holds up with JJ and former Clarion coach Larry Weiser. We're going to be doing for B94 and also the YDL Sports Network with the streaming. So, hey, buddy, I feel like I'm back in the saddle again.
And, I'll add my voice. I'm sure many people have said it's good to have you back.
Well, I appreciate that.
You're a perfect. You're an example of the enthusiasm that this game generates. You're into it. You've supported it, and it means a lot. It really does.
Yeah. I just, like I said, my whole goal in life lately is I do believe in the be kind and do your best to make a difference. And man, if we can showcase the good in the world, Nick, that's really what we need to do. We all need a little bit of sunshine and joy every day. And again, this is one of the ways of doing that. Hey, I want to go off the board a little bit because you are an author, an author, my friend, and fill me in a little bit about that. Let's get to know Nick a little bit, some of the things you've written, what you got going, because I know that there's one that I really want to grab. I think your latest book, but let's just veer from the game a little bit and talk about Nick's writing career.
Well, I wrote my first book, He Was There All the Time, back in 2020. And it was a combination of a lot of columns I'd written over the years at the Courier Express that sort of, oftentimes when somebody I knew had passed away and had played a role in my life growing up, a lot of teachers and people in the community, I wrote a column about them, and I was always just going to publish that as a collection of columns, but I was able to string together some prose in it and make a book out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The second book that came out in January, Play It As It Lies, takes that a little bit further and concentrates on the relationship I had with my dad.
Yeah.
and all the golf we played, hence the name.
Mm-hmm.
But our lives together, he and my mom divorced when I was 10, and he was out in Denver and then later Omaha. So we were separated by circumstances and distance, but we were never kept apart. We found a relationship. We built it. In 2014, the year I started with Pete, he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I thought, how's this going to change me? How's this going to change our relationship? How's it going to change Dad? So I started taking notes and keeping a journal. And 6 months later, he's cancer-free.
Wow.
A miracle. But I kept writing the journal. I knew that eventually someday that day was out there when it would all come to a close.
Sure.
So I retired in 2023 and moved to Omaha to be with him. By then it was pretty well along into Alzheimer's. So after 51 years of separation, we were finally together under the same roof. And 6 weeks later, he died.
Yeah.
And but this book it's not about the last 9 years of Dad's life. It's about life. It's about relationships. It's about how special they make life. You got to work at it. There's no autopilot button to the ones that really mean something. You just can't put it on cruise control and drift along. It takes work, commitment, dedication.
Yeah.
But it was my privilege to have a father like I had and build the relationship that we had. And hopefully, people can read the book and see themselves in it with the special people in their lives. Because like you said, we all need some sunshine.
Yeah.
You don't have to go far to see all the gloom and doom. And I rarely turn the TV on anymore.
Yeah.
Saturated.
I'm with you.
I'd rather immerse myself in, the positive.
Yes.
And that's one of the direct lessons my dad taught me.
Yeah. I recently lost my dad, and he had a battle for a while, and man, those I'm not going to get mushy, but those moments get you. And, we're better people for those relationships. So I'm kind of looking forward to reading that, Nick. And again, hey, it's time to play some football on Friday. How excited are you when that kickoff goes?
It's an exciting moment, and it's a moment of relief too, because I started working on this back in November.
Mm-hmm.
He asked the coaches to nominate, their seniors. And then we go through the selection process with the coaches and everything. And it starts off relatively benign, slow, easy pace. But as the months go along and you start getting into rosters and equipment and, who's going to do this and who's going to do that, and when's this going to get done, and you start to put a timeline together, spreadsheets, and, it builds. It's a good thing I don't have a blood pressure cuff and a heart monitor on the sideline at 6:55 p.m.
Yeah.
Because we'll probably be off the charts.
Well, that would be good for our broadcast. Maybe we'll have to figure something. Well, what's he up to down there, boys? But yeah, hey, and the game itself, and again, it can get a little tough at times. I know people got to step in. Hey, boys, let's cool a bit. And I remember you telling me, Nick, one thing that kids got to remember. For some of them, it could be the last time you're on that field. You don't want to be remembered as the guy that cheap shotted or did something nasty and got thrown out of the game. And that means a lot to you guys, too, to convey that message to the kids. Hey, we're here for a game, but let's keep it classy, dudes.
It's a game, and you're a grown-up, and, think twice before, you want to be escorted off the field in front of your family and your friends and your fans.
Yeah.
Remember, who you are, and act, as Joe Paterno used to say, act like you've been here.
Yes.
Before. You're maybe not a professional athlete per se, but you are at a level where you've got responsibilities to conduct yourself in an adult way.
Yeah.
And the kids are great about it. They embrace it.
Yeah. It really is. It is a fun night. It's great for the fans. I'm just looking forward to being part of it again, Nick. And as always, just talking with you brightens my day a little bit. And again, going back from that car ride to 214 to where I am, and I do have to mention that I believe Frank passed away in 2002.
2002.
What do you think when he's looking down, just probably smiling at you and Pete and everybody involved? But isn't it great to keep his legacy going like that?
It is, because, there's, I wrote a chapter on Frank in my first book. He was an example, a role model. He was somebody you wanted to emulate, someone who, every small town needs people like that, always positive, always moving ahead, it was never a question of, what did we do wrong? It's what can we do better?
Right.
That's what we've tried to do with this game every year. We don't sit around and, what went wrong? What can we do better?
Yes. Yeah.
And how can we be better? And because I think that's what people expect is, better.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, you make those steps every year, and
Sure.
and I'm just, like I said, I can't wait to get up there with JJ and Larry and see you again, buddy, because I think
So I'm looking forward to it.
it's been a couple years. And Nick, I appreciate everything you do. I know you still got work to do, and Friday when we kick it off, I know a lot of people will be smiling, including Frank from above, and I know I'm going to be grinning from ear to ear. So, as always, my friend, just thank you for your time, and thanks for everything you do, Nick.
Well, it's my pleasure, and it's a privilege. It's never imagined, back in 2014 that we'd be here, but here we are.
Yes.
And, just keep the ride going.
All right, buddy. Hey, Nick, as always, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Friday.
Thank you, Bob. Likewise, and welcome back.